Well, it's the Valentine season and I love a theme. Obviously, the theme right now, love, hearts, XOXO. And so I wanted to make some sort of a project inspired by, love is in the air. And so I had quite a few ideas. I started off thinking I was going to make a top, and I saw this top on Instagram. I'll include a picture, and I was like, oh, I would love to try to recreate that. Sort of my own version. I had a couple of designs that I had drawn up, but I don't really have time to do that before Valentine's Day. It is already the 10th today, so I'm gonna have to do something a little bit easier. And also, I just was thinking about it and I was like, I don't know if I would wear that, like, actually. And I obviously want my projects to be something that I really would get a lot of use out of. So I've decided that I'm gonna make a bag, a heart bag, very simple. So for this project, I'm gonna use Lily Sugar and Cream Strawberry colorway, I believe. Here it is. I'm not sure yet how many balls I'm gonna need, but I'm guessing maybe 2 or 3. This is leftover from this project. I made a shirt with it already, so here's about how it looks when it's worked up. Obviously, you can use any colorway that you want. It doesn't even need to be pink or red, It can be any color. It's a heart. And then I'm also going to use this Cotton light pink. Got it off Amazon, and it's really cheap, like less than $2 per ball, so that's really good to me. 80% cotton, 20% polyester, recycled, and I like to have a solid color when I'm doing a variegated yarn because I like that it sort of grounds it. And I'm just going to use this for the strap though, so again, totally optional, although I would recommend a Lily Sugar and Cream brand for this because it's a very thick cotton. It's going to make a really sturdy bag. So here are the supplies. I'm also using G6, US G6 4mm crochet hook because that's the only crochet hook that I have. You can use whatever crochet hook that you have. I'm sure that it'll work up just fine. So let's get started. So first step, I'm just going to make a slip knot and put that onto my hook like that. Then you're going to want to make a chain. So this first part, you're going to want to make it long enough that it probably fits your phone and whatever else you think that you'll carry in this bag. So for me, I'm thinking I'm going to leave it at 18 chains long, but again, it's up to you. You can make it bigger or smaller if you want. So I'm going to leave it at 18, and then you're going to want to chain 3 because I'm going to do this all with half double crochets. So now I have a chain of 21. You're going to go back into that 18th chain and you're going to put one more in there. So you're going to yarn over once and then put it in the 18th chain. Yarn over once, pull through. Now you should have 3 loops on your hook. And you're going to yarn over, pull through all 3 at once. Hopefully you did that more gracefully than I did. You're going to want to go down the chain and put 1 half double crochet in each chain until at the very last chain you're going to want to put 2 half double crochets. This is because we're increasing at both the top and at the bottom. So this will make sort of a trapezoid shape at first until we round it off at the top for the top of the heart. Okay, I have 20 half double crochets here now, where the first chain 3 counts as a half double crochet, and it will for the whole project. So if I'm ever talking about how many half double crochets you should have, that includes the first chain 3 that starts the new row. So for the next row, here's where we're at. We just want to go in and put another chain 3 to start the next higher row. So 2, 3. All right, and then you're going to want to turn your work around and put a half double crochet into the same hole that this chain 3 is coming out of. Do you see? So that is an increase. All right. Then we're just going to go through this row and do the same thing. So we're going to put a half double crochet in each of these chains and then put 2 in the last one. And we're just going to keep doing that for a few rows, and I'll come back when we're ready to take the next step. Alright, I've done 5 rows now. Each row starting with an increase and ending with an increase. So let's just go through how many stitches I have per row. We started off with the chain of 18, then the first row has 20, the second row has 22, the third row has 24, the fourth row has 26, and the fifth row has 28. So now I think it's ready, for mine at least, that I'm going to start leveling out the top of the first side of the heart. So now what I'm going to do for the next 5 rows is I'm going to continue doing increases on the bottom. So I'll do the same where I put 2 into the first stitch, or the last stitch depending on the row. And then on the other end, I'll not put any increase. So it's going to increase by 1 per row. So the next row it's going to be 29, the row after it's going to be 30. Do you understand what I mean? I hope so. We are 10 rows in, and here's how it's looking. You can kind of see that heart shape beginning to form. So now we're going to take the next step, and that will be, we're going to have to do some decreases. So up until now, we've just been doing increases, first on the top and on the bottom, then just on the bottom, but now we're going to do increases on the bottom and decreases on the top. That'll make this start to come down, and this will continue to go towards the point. So we're going to do 5 more rows. 5 rows of decreases on the top and increases on the bottom. So how I'm going to do a decrease is, it's a little tricky when you are starting the row with the decrease, and so I'm not doing this maybe in the most correct way, but this is how I do it. So I'm just going to have, already a chain there, and then I'm going to go into the next hole. I'm going to yarn over once, go into the next hole, pull through, make that half double crochet, and there we go. That's it. That's my decrease at the top. So I'm just going to go down this row now, do 2 at the bottom like normal, an increase, and then 2 at the start of the next row, and then go on to the end, and then I'll show you what I do then. So to make that decrease at the end of a row, you're going to want to crochet until you have 2 holes left, 2 chains left to crochet into. Then you're going to yarn over once, put it through the first one, pull through, then you're going to put it through the second one, pull through, So it should look like this. You have 4 loops on your chain at this point, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of them. So it's going to make a little bit of a bigger half double crochet, but I don't think it's that noticeable at the end. And that's your decrease stitch. So I'm going to do the next 3 rows just like I've shown you so far, decreasing at the top, increasing at the bottom, and then we'll be halfway done with the first panel. Remember, we have to make a second panel for the back. I need you guys to mentally sing Half a Heart by One Direction in your head because I feel like that would be a really funny transition, but it's definitely copyrighted, so I'm not going to actually put it in. But just do it in your head, okay? Hello? It looks so good. That's such a clear half a heart. See, I've never done this before either. I'm doing this project for the first time, so I'm like equally surprised that it's turning out well. Okay, so yay, 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 yay. Next step, we're gonna basically do obviously the reverse of everything we did on this side. So next step, we're going to do decreases on the bottom for this whole way, and for the next 5 rows, we're going to do increases on the top. Then we're going to do 5 rows with only decreases on the bottom and nothing on the top, just staying the same. And then we're going to do 5 rows of decreases on the bottom and decreases on the top. Does that make sense? It's just the exact opposite of what we did on this side, so that we can have a full heart. Okay, it's a new day, and last night I was able to finish. Isn't that so cute? I think that's so darling. And I think that it actually came out to be a really good heart, like really good dimensions. It's not too long and it's not too stubby. The only thing is I do wish that this would have been a little bit deeper. Right now the top is a little shallow, but that's okay, because that just means that there's more space for you to put stuff inside the bag, so it's pretty practical. And I also finished the other one, which I did following the exact same instructions, nothing different at all. So now I've got the front panel and the back panel. This happened really quickly, and it only used 1.5 balls of the Lily Sugar and Cream, which I'm really pleased with. That was a lot more cost effective than I was even expecting. I do also like that the pooling came out quite differently on these, so you get kind of a different effect depending on which side you have facing out. That's quite fun. So now the next step, which I've also already started a bit, is I'm using the contrasting color yarn. Of course, you can use the same yarn to make the strap. And for this, you're just going to want to make it as thick as you want the interior of the bag to be, because it's going to go around the sides, linking the sides together basically, and being the strap. So for me, I made it 6 chains long, and now I'm just going back and forth making 6 half double crochets. Super easy, super basic, nothing special. And you're going to want to make it as long as you want the strap to be. So if you want this to be a crossbody bag, you're going to want it to be a bit of a longer strap, but you're just going to have to try that on yourself and how long you want it. But do remember that this will probably stretch while you use it, especially if you carry anything heavy in this bag, which I would not recommend. But it will stretch regardless, just because of gravity. So you'd rather make it a little bit shorter than a little bit longer. You know what I mean? It is now day 3 of the heart bag project. It is taking longer than I would have hoped, but I've been getting distracted, so if you're recreating the same project, you could definitely do it in a day or 2. But, so I'm on day 3, and I've finished the strap. It is now 44.5 inches or 113 centimeters, which I've measured to be a pretty good length just for a shoulder bag. If you want it to be a crossbody, you will have to make it a little bit longer. Alright, so the next step. Now we're on to the easy part. We're just going to sew the 3 finished pieces together. So you've got a front and a back panel and a strap. So this strap is actually going to connect all the way from the bottom of the heart up, and then loop around and come back down. You're gonna see what I mean when it's done. In order to sew it, I'm just gonna use this same pink yarn that I used for the strap and a needle. No fancy machinery here. So we're pretty much done. I'm so excited. I did also buy a closure for this, a magnetic closure, but I'm not gonna put that in yet because I think maybe someday, months down the line, I might want to line this because that will make it have better longevity. Crochet will stretch a lot on its own, but if it has a fabric lining, that'll make it last a lot better. But I'm not going to do that right now because I don't have a sewing machine and I don't have fabric, so yeah. She's stunning, she's gorgeous, she's one of a kind, and she's done. Okay, the ends aren't weaved in, but you can visualize at least that much. I already tried putting my stuff in here and it looks pretty great to me. I'm pretty pleased. I think it's super cute. It's a nice length on my side, and I feel like I probably will wear this a lot, especially once I have it lined and I have the magnet closure in there. If you make your own, I would love to see. I hope that these instructions were informative enough that you can follow along. If not, you can always ask me questions in the comment section and I'm always happy to answer. And I hope you have a lovely day, a lovely Valentine's Day, if that's still coming up for you. And I think every one of you are gonna have a Valentine. Maybe not this year, let's be honest. Maybe not this year, but at some point you're gonna have a Valentine. If you want one. Thank you for watching.